up top, but this is Echo setting up the first turtle fight of the game.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a fight as expected when you have a lineup that has a tanky jungler against a lineup with a marksman jungler. The tanky jungler lineup will be able to get the first turtle, maybe even the second turtle without a hitch.
Yeah, they're not erasing it. They're not erasing it too early on if Blacklist is concerned with their damage.
So far, we're seeing an early rotation here by Yawi. Again, that's one of the things you buy as a Moskov. Benny Cutie, though.
All right, guys. We've been waiting for this, finally.
If the opponent has no roamer
you guys,
with them, if
honestly, I'm
has no roamer
really
with them,
hyped right now.
You're likely going to win because you have that CC.
Yeah.
Moskov is one of the few
I'm very,
that have reliable
very
CC.
hyped right
Sanford
now.
Spots out Wise and Yue. Left to have health, forcing out the split. Here comes Carl Teasy, securing that little wanderer.
I almost
Now
didn't wake up.
The rotations of the roamers.
Almost.
Because Blacklist International has a marksman roamer. Oh my Venus,
But you know we
spent
did.
a lot of time in the center of the map, not really able to help Super Red. Super Red has to play way more back because Yawi is able to help Super Red more.
Ooh.
Into the range of that feathered airstrike, but survives off of the altar. Super Red, 1 HP, pushing back. Oh my Venus, the queen saves the rookie.
Yeah, that's how they dictate fights against Echo right
So-
now. They're forcing everybody to use resources. Sanji receives
Wait
some
1
pokes from
second,
Oh My
guys.
Venus, but Echo there is receiving some damage.
Oh,
That's how you want to
Carl
go.
Carl
Teasy.
Teasy
On to
lighting
two.
up Wise. It's a 2v1. Wise obliges. Benny Cutie
Whoa!
with the Renner shot, leaving Wise with just some thoughts to think about. How did I survive that? And still, no dice. No one goes down unless Oh My Venus caught with a frigid breath. Carl Teasy gonna drop first blood. Oh, they're not done.
They're not
Feathered
stopping
airstrike,
it.
Caught one. The last salvo. Super Red survives once more.
And right now, Echo, they up
All
the
right.
tempo at the perfect time. And now Carl Teasy, not going to be able to steal that purple buff away, but this is what you need to do up against a lineup that has two strong late game carries. Around minute 4, make the play. Dive somewhere, preferably the gold lane. Pressure the opposing jungler to delay the farming a little bit more. Echo is ticking all the boxes they need to tick in this game so far.
That's the checklist. That's the checklist for the Orcas, for the power predictions. Who
14.
will get more kills in this game? Super Red or Benny Q to comment down your answer with the hashtag SmartPowersMPLS11.
Oh,
First
Edward
turtle fight.
forces out a
I think this
feathered
is
airstrike.
You know,
Oh, that's
I think
fatal
this
links
is a,
canceled out,
oh,
but
wait a
he
second,
does
Carl
pick up a
TC.
shield for Yawi to survive. The playmaker walks out with his life, but check down bottom lane. Benny Cutie doing work.
That's turtle and
Benny
that's
Cutie
the
doing
push.
work.
This is Echo hearing the drums from behind. They're not risking it for Blacklist International. The AoE burst is
Yawi.
too high.
Oh, no! Fatal links onto Oh My Venus. Does not survive. Serves up the kill to Benny Cutie.
Echo, man, looks like they haven't missed a step since Jakarta, and now Wise and you in trouble in the mid lane.
Oh, diving underneath tier 1. Wise
Wise.
to 0 health. Carl Teasy gets
Bro,
one.
you know these
Super
boys
Red
are
puts him
hype.
up
It's
against the
day
wall.
1.
Can the
It's
best
day
in the world
1.
survive? He does.
Leo,
Super Red, not enough damage
Renmar,
quite yet.
OSX,
Ewan jumping in. Edward
OSX
from
on the
flank.
English desk
Sanji
now.
takes down Super Red. An assist from Benny
Yeesh.
Cutie. Sanji traded out though. Edward gets him down. Sanford 3v1. Can he survive? Dashes on now with the grab.
Now Blacklist
With the
able
grab.
to get a kill back there. That's they needed to get something back.
All right.
But now this
Sorry,
is the
guys, we're
time
just
for
sharing the
Blacklist
link
to position
everywhere real
themselves a little
fast.
bit better in the map, a little
Paste.
bit more advanced if they can to get more information because right now Yawi is beating them to the punch in positioning. 3 times now he's positioned perfectly behind the enemy lines, behind Blacklist International, and caught Blacklist with their pants down.
How will you give vision for Blacklist right now? Will it be Edward? Will it be Oh My Venus? The damage out of Sanji bursting down onto feathered airstrike. Are they doing something? Is this something? No, not yet. They're still holding it off.
An initial salvo to set the tempo. Edward going on ahead and using those iframes to jump out of the
All right.
Beta links.
All right.
Easy and Wise playing footsies behind tier 2.
Playing
That tier 1 turret's not
footsies.
gonna go down.
This
Benny
man
Cutie
just
gets
said
another one
playing
top.
footsies behind
It's a
tier
push
2.
for the Orcas against the Code Breakers. What's the call now if you're Blacklist?
That's why
For Blacklist
I like
International,
Leo so
you're
much.
either gonna be waiting and just
Lines
going
like
for
that, bro.
Potential turtle steals. You can't be the one initiating it because you're gonna get caught off guard, or you're really just gonna give it to Echo and just wait until Echo makes a mistake.
It's lines
with
like that.
The upcoming pushes or attempts to further their lead with team fight plays. No contest by Blacklist
Oh.
International. Echo are gonna be riding happy for the next 2 minutes, 3 minutes if they don't make a mistake.
Fellas, we're looking at about a 5,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. I'm guessing the items are a lot of...
Whoa!
The playmaker! I wasn't done! I wasn't done! But neither are Echo.
GG's, GG's, GG's.
Edward getting on out of dodge. Sanford with a split, pushing him back. Happy with what they got. 2 for
I can only see the end of this, but I knew it was John Dela Cruz.
From out of nowhere.
I could only see the type, what you
Not
chatted.
wasting a millisecond to flick
No
in
more
and
women's
use that
division.
ultimate.
I knew
Just
immediately. I
how
didn't
you
see who
managed
typed it,
to
but I
get
knew
Blacklist
it was you,
all
John.
4 members
I knew it
in
was
the
you, John.
mid lane.
And now they're pushing it further. Yue
I knew it
doesn't
was
get
you.
anyone though.
Oh my Venus attempts one, doesn't find it. Yue also with his own fatal links, no one home. Cartesian and Edward bombs away for Benny Cutie, pushing back. Blacklist International in their own jungle on their own side of the map. Benny takes out another turret down bottom. Only 2 outer turrets left for Blacklist International.
Echo is clearly setting up a borderline for Blacklist International. They're hungry for objectives. They're hungry for that jungle creeps. But how do you manage to go out? The only way to hold the defenses is Oh My Venus or even Edward. But that sacrifices a lot. Even looking at the items, it's not enough against Echo.
Yeah, there's already a Malefic Roar and a BOD on the Beatrix for the side of Echo. Edward in trouble though.
Agent Zero survives, but just barely. This turret up top, its days
We woke up
are
at,
numbered. I'm wondering, Renmar,
2:30,
where does
guys.
Blacklist find farm? It's so hard to be Blacklist right now.
In their own base. On their own towers when the minion waves are close to it. That's the only way they can
Super
farm right
red
now
is
because
super
Echo can
dog.
just really go into their
Anyways.
jungle without a problem, but there's a
Anyways.
problem for
Oh,
Venus.
that's a lot of damage.
Oh, doesn't even get a cult altar up. That's a pick.
I mean, it's 6K gold lead.
The playmaker finds one.
Yowie finds another one.
Benny Cutie as they make a
I don't think there's an
beeline
answer.
forward.
That's 2 down, opening up another major objective for Echo. 7.2K.
I wanted to bet on
advance.
this game.
How do you manage to pull this
I was
off
gonna
for
put like
Blacklist?
$200
The
on
mindset
Echo.
right now of Super Red is,
But
I
all
need
the
minions,
esports
I
betting
need the
sites
push. But this
aren't
separates
legal
a
in
lot.
USA.
There's nothing to take if you're Blacklist right now.
Nothing at all. Echo can just ride this comfortably, play disciplined, and play their cards right. They cannot make any of those sour plays. They are hitting all the marks perfectly so far. They just need to continue that. Their marksman already has that Malefic Roar, as I mentioned earlier. As Blacklist builds defense items, that Beatrix is still gonna hurt.
Yeah. Talking about physical penetration, and you have glue on your side in the hands of Sanford. How do you manage to have a security for your own marksman? Super Ed and Wise, they're really thin on defenses.
It's double jeopardy. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Do I build that steel leg plate? Do I build the Athena shield against Sanji? It's so difficult to consider
When you're this far behind.
how to find farm and what to even spend it on.
Yeah.
This is what people are fearing right now
That's
against
what-
the
you know,
lineup of
that's-
quick scaling, a tanky jungler, and the Farsa. Again, why the Farsa is so good lately.
He's explaining
because of
it.
how fast you can scale if you snowball really well. Look at that.
Wise down to a fourth of his health. Look at those waves, masterfully orchestrated, crashing straight into Blacklist's territory. Now Lord up top. The shield on this turret is still here. It's going to help clear the
Sanji
waves. but Blacklist
doesn't have
make
the
it
feathered
easy
airstrike,
work.
and it takes a second, but
They're
look at
still
the
here.
damage
They're
from
still
Benny, though,
breathing.
man.
Cartesian,
Uh-oh.
the rest of Echo knocking down on their door. Can they get it? Oh my Venus.
Uh-oh.
With the rope. Fatal link serving it up. Betty Cutie unstoppable.
Venus
Another
didn't even
slip
have
pop
time.
down bottom.
Didn't even
Edward
have
doing
time
his
to
best.
click
Blacklist
the
still
cult
breathing,
altar.
Still here. They clear out the waves.
Right now, Blacklist has a bit of hope with that wave clear, but that doesn't give time to even hold the line by just the poke.
Why
of
isn't
the
Renny
ultimate
J playing?
Sanji
I don't
just
know.
like
It's
this.
day one.
It connects.
Oh
My
goodness.
God.
The Renner shot takes down Wise, and now down goes the inhibitor in mid as well. Cause gets a taunt, and they go ahead.
GG's,
In the face.
GG's.
Gets double for Benny. It's just you left. Echo is going to take this inhibitor up top. It's just a matter of seconds, moments before Echo take down the base. They have just but one minion. Here's another wave.
Are they risking
waiting.
it?
Oh, Fatal Links make sure that.
Oh
Echo
my
down.
God.
Echo takes game one.
GG's. Easy.
Man, oh man, the world champ still has it on the first game of the day. Echo with a dominating performance, just
Massacre.
marched on and held nothing but guts and risk all in all against Blacklist.
I've
There
never
was a
seen
massacre.
something so terrifying yet beautiful at the same time. The domination that Echo showed, but the fundamentals,
game 1.
the artistry
There's another
in
one.
their movements. The world champs have not missed a beat.
It's like a baby.
But if they go that
Picasso
fast,
and Einstein
to
made
my
on
end,
the land of
to
Nod, that's
my
what it
my
looks like.
end soon.
That
Yes.
does sound
Guys,
beautiful
to
and
my
terrifying at
end
the same
soon.
time.
As I imagine it beautifully. Thank you so
Carlsy's
much
18, but looks
for
older than me.
pointing that out or drawing it out for
True.
us, Leo.
You're welcome.
I
True.
can imagine it. It's terrifying.
What's interesting is the way that Echo played here. They literally just rolled out of bed, out of their hotel room in Jakarta the night after they won the championships, and then this is how they played. That's what it looked like.
In the first day, Renmar.
This is me. What's up? It's
First day,
3:12
the
a.m.
first
right
game,
now.
That's how you make a
3:12 a.m.
statement.
today.
My
And
goodness.
it's not stopping. We've seen some glimmer of hope for Blacklist International, but the problem is they were lacking the damage, they were lacking the time. Even the rotation, the coverage of Echo is just too much for them to even risk one member down.
Leo got the fresh cut.
Coverage.
Ken
way
Konecki,
too
what's up,
fast
man?
With how well Yawi was positioning behind the members of Blacklist and how Echo were so down to back him up. That is the kind of aggression you'd want if you're Echo.
A lot of things are going to happen, and for this first match, it's Echo who's completely.
We just woke up
dominated
a little
that
bit ago,
game.
guys.
Let's see how Blacklist
We just woke up a
responds
little bit
for
ago.
that, but a lot of things happened. We've seen some chances of them to take back, but it's more of a. They could consider it as a test of the first game to know more about if there's something new about Echo.
That's true. Historically speaking, and this is a
Carmen
thought
Cohen,
by
what's up,
Sherman
man?
Coach
Welcome,
Tic-Tac
welcome.
Himself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Blacklist is one of the teams that make a download game work.
Yeah.
Question mark, is this a download game?
Could be. We'll find out. We'll only find out in game number 2.
With all of this is happening, let's throw it over through our analysts on what just happened in game number 1.
Who's our analyst? Wolf? I put money on Wolf being analyst day 1.
All
Never-
right.
never mind.
Pretty sure it was obvious what we just saw there. An absolutely dominating performance from Echo. And yeah,
Oh,
it's
this
one
is
of
how
those
they're
games
running
where
it.
started in the draft. Not to say that the Blacklist International draft was bad. It's just that up against a lineup like Echo showed out, it had to be a very careful game. That if they couldn't delay
feel like
the eventual snowball that Echo would have if they have their dream start,
That
then it will be
feels
a bad
so
time
weird.
for Blacklist
Being on the
International.
desk
Having
and
a
then
lineup
having
with
it.
a
I mean,
Moskov,
not really.
with a Granger,
I get.
and
Never
with a
mind.
Valentina,
Never mind.
that is a lineup that tells you, okay,
Swear
we're gonna
more
try
during
to drag
casting,
this out
please.
To the mid to the late game, make sure our
No,
marksmen
I
get
can't.
our farm. Because
can't.
if they do, the lineup of Blacklist
Wish I
International
could,
has a lot of
but I
damage,
can't.
and it would be terrifying. But Echo respected the hell out of that. They played aggressive once they got the ball rolling after the first turtle. Again, they didn't go for the aggressive play right away. They said, all right, if you're going to focus on your farm, we'll focus on our farm a little bit as well. We'll get the first turtle as expected in this kind of matchup. But then, once the second turtle was coming up, once Yawi found himself in positions where he could annoy
Echo
the
is
heck
peaking.
out of Super Red
You
in
think
the
they're
gold lane.
peaking
And
on
again,
day one,
because
bro?
you have a Granger in
They're
the jungle
peaking
of
on day
Blacklist
one. They're not
International.
peaking, bro.
Oh, my Venus
This
has
is
to
warm
spend
up.
a lot more time in the
This is
mid
warm
lane,
up, bro.
hence why he can't go to the gold lane and help out Super Red.
Echo
It
could
was
really end up
such
being the
a
team
difficult
that
situation for Blacklist International. And it goes
that
to show
takes
here just how
2
fast this game
championships in a
goes
row.
on. In fast games, you'd want to look at the gold per
Echo
minute for
could
the
actually
marksman,
end up being the team
Benny
that does
Cutie
that.
with 920. And how fast
We
he
thought it
got
was gonna
out
be
of the gold lane,
Blacklist.
He even has the highest
We thought
teamfight
they
participation
were the
for
saviors,
Echo.
right? We thought
No damage return
Blacklist
even for
was
Blacklist International
the truth
because,
risen again.
Echo
last year,
respected
but
the
now-
eventual scaling that
now
the lineup of Blacklist International
we see
could
what's
have
really
had
going on.
if Blacklist International kept the early to mid game close. We also have to talk about Sanji though on this Farsa. We have been seeing this a lot. Farsa being prioritized over Eve because of the burst being dished out, and teams seems to have realized, okay, we're playing a lot more tanky junglers, so why don't we pick up something like a Farsa to offset the lack of damage in the early game, and if ever, get a huge burst of magic damage in the transition from early game to mid game. So Echo drafted a lineup still very
Is
similar
BTK
to how
back?
they have
I don't
drafted
know.
things in M4,
There's so
but
much,
with just
guys. There's
minor
like
adjustment. As we look here, the MVP
There
of
is
the game, Yawi, on this
There's a lot
Atlas
going on
played
with the teams in
incredibly
NA
well
right
because,
now.
again, of how well he
There's a
positioned
lot
in the key moments
going
when
on,
Echo said it's time to up the tempo. If we do not up the tempo, Blacklist International will catch up. They will be able to farm and will be put in a difficult situation. Yawi and the rest of Blacklist International of Echo said, no, we're going to up the tempo at exactly the right time. 4 minutes in. You could see it there with that play, with how well Yawi positioned behind Super Red and how well Sanji was timing it as well. We mentioned in the keys to victory that Yawi, Sanji, and Sanford have to work together well.
It's only 2 games
to put
tonight, guys.
pressure
It's kind of
in
sad.
the side lanes and in the river. We didn't see a lot of pressure on the river because they don't need to. They pressure the heck out of the side lane, specifically the gold lane onto Super Red with the respect they have for the eventual scaling that Blacklist International can have. It was a very clear-cut game what happened from A to Z. In the drafting,
MPLID just started
Echo
too.
still continuing with their formula from the World Championship.
Or Fire's
they took
playing.
away
I almost
some
want to
of
watch
the key
that game,
heroes of
bro.
Oh My Venus that will give them a difficult time, such as the Diggy and all of that. But then they were very happy about it. So let's go back to the keys to victory checklist. We already mentioned Yawi and Sansan, pressure the lanes and river. Check. Back to basics.
I got
Draft
permission
and play
to
around
do
the
watch
gold
parties
lane.
on
They
PH.
didn't
I have not
necessarily
gotten
draft around
permission
gold lane,
to
but Echo played the hell
do ID.
out of the gold lane. Did that really well. VY is surprised with their rookies playstyle though. We still haven't seen that key to victory achieved.
So I
by
don't want to
Blacklist
get too
International.
crazy.
In fact, this time around it was Echo who was able to surprise Blacklist International. And is it a surprise at this point? Because again, we're still continuing their saga from the World Championship. And I feel like I've said enough. I want to be able to be joined by Leo.
What squad is Cardi on? I don't know. I'm really hoping that he joins a team, though, in the NACT. Because let's be real.
It is.
It
what
would
is
be
what
all right.
happened
So
in game number 1. That's
let me
how
turn
the
this
world
down
champs
for a second.
dominate against Blacklist
It would be hype. Like, all right, it would be hype if we had like old BTK as a squad again, right? But what would I think? What would be even hyper? What would be even more insane is if you had Cardi on a team, you had Zane on a different team, and then maybe you either had Shark or you had Chicken on another team. That, I think, and all 3 teams make it to top 8 in NACT, and you have this season, bro, that would really be the brothers' war right there, man. The brothers' war. Please, please give me something like that to cast. Please give me a story of the ages. Because that right there, sheesh, sheesh.
Best believe he would be jumping in. If he didn't, he would be looking for one and then found out. I swear, there were a couple of frigid breaths that could have killed members of Blacklist.
True. That's how well they played around each other, their roamer and the setups. And the most redeeming quality...
Who wins has to face Gosu General for the World Championship.
We have this principle here on the broadcast where we just have to go with the flow with what each of us says. That's what it felt like for Echo. They just went with the flow with what Yawi wanted to do, with what Carl Teasy wanted to do, that they were answering each other really well. Like, it feels like if we could hear the comms, we'd be hearing them, hey, you want to go for this? Yeah, sure, man. Want to go for that? Oh, yeah, sure. It's like they're always down to just go for it, and because of that, Echo Express, choo-choo, unstoppable in game 1. We've seen a
Carmen
lot of
Cohen, it's true. I don't think it was a smart choice either.
These players aren't even hesitant to use the flicker, even for just 1 kill,
Exactly.
1 catch, right?
And if you're going at this rate, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because again, if I'm not mistaken, I called it out less than 8 minutes in. They were like 5 or 6K ahead. What do you do? What do you do? How do you reconcile that with your gold laner Red? And already he was
I know.
he didn't have
So I saw that when I got off of.
we can go ahead and talk about
I went out to
after
dinner
game 2.
tonight with a bunch of friends of mine,
Wanna see these two
and on my
teams
way
fight
home,
forever.
I put YouTube on,
I love that.
and I see Zane scrimming, and he's like, "Kick chicken." And he didn't play with chicken tonight. I don't know, so I don't know what's going on.
But Blacklist needs to show more because again, Echo are. It looks like
That's why I was saying it'd be crazy if you had all of them on
Moskov was
separate
picked up,
teams.
again, a terrifying pick lately. They just, okay, we'll have the Atlas, we'll have a
It'd be
ShoutCaster,
lit.
because as you mentioned earlier in the draft, most Moskovs will pick up on Inspire, not the Purify. The only one to Purify was the Faramis, was Oh My Venus.
Yeah, organically, you only need that damage to amplify the passive of the Moskov. It just keeps on hitting it and secures itself with a knockoff, right?
That.
See?
Sorry, no, I did it way too fast. That it's invisible to the naked eye. But like, look at that.
I think that sounded like
did it.
if
did it
you're in the
again.
14 minute, and it's how fast it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really?
It gave me war flashbacks because I played last night against the Moskov, and believe it or not, I was a Beatrix. It did not look like this.
Cardi
It
versus
was
Chicken
very
on, bro.
different.
Yeah,
That's-
and if you're saying that
That's
could
what I'm
end
talking,
up
bro. You
differently,
know,
and if
Cardi versus
Blacklist
Chicken in the
asks for more
EXP.
time, I think it's still a
You know the recalls are coming out. You know the trash talk coming out. I don't think they'll be able to keep chat clean.
And I realize as well, before the match
Chat
started,
goes crazy.
we talked about Super Red.
Viewers go crazy.
I
Numbers
feel like
go up.
Echo also
Stonks
has
is
that
up
in
for
their mind,
NACT if we
that,
see Chicken
again,
versus Cardi in the
mindset,
EXP.
mentality, very important when you're a pro player here in MPL Philippines. That Echo said, you know what, we're going to be aggressive from minute 1, well, not minute 1, minute 4,
Yeah.
and then just continue and ride that train because they're new. Let's introduce them to the league. In the term we have, it's called binyag. They baptize them
the
into the league.
baptism of fire.
The baptism by fire exactly is what Echo did to the rookies of Blacklist International that we didn't get to see a lot of UN Super Red.
Orcas on fire? What is this? The Phantom Pain? If you know, you know. But I get what
Orcas
you're
on
saying.
fire?
And is that enough for Echo to do? Can Echo do this 2 games in a row? Will that break UA and Super Red? Because I hope not. I hope not, because again, to grind your way out of the amateur scene here in the Philippines takes character, takes a lot of mechanics. And that's what Blacklist saw in these 2. And that's what I hope shows in game 2.
Here we go.
But it has to start with the draft.
Bring us
I'm
the
saying
3
right now, it has to
games,
start with the
boys.
draft. And the battle spells.
Can Blacklist do
Put
it?
respect on what the playmaker does. Put respect on what Echo can bring.
Yeah, we're hopeful on the new kids on the block for Blacklist International. Same as you who's watching this right now, as we expect 3 more games today. On to the first match of the season.
Yes, please.
We want it. We want it right now, and also we're hopeful that these 2 new players are able to show up what they're doing in the amateur, because for all I know, there has dominant performances. Maybe the challenge here, since we have 3 members of Blacklist. We have Edward.
I like the
Mike
fact
Beason,
that they
Wise.
didn't take a
They're still
break,
new
bro.
to how they actually move, on how keys to victory number 1 would actually reflect to them.
Oh,
They
so it
paneled
could be
the whole way
that
through.
Still a little bit of the early days of building that budding chemistry that for
could
sure
be.
is going to be there. But
Could be.
in practice, it's a massive thing to really show, and they're going to need to show it here in this game number 2. For Echo, I really want to bring this up quickly, though. If they want to continue that trend of a dominant game, I feel like they will still need to continue putting in bans onto Diggy. Because I felt like one of the reasons why they could do that is because they didn't have to worry about a Diggy on the map.
Speaking of our first game earlier, the Diggy is a big of a problem to anything that has a setup.
Yeah.
Not just Diggy, as well as the Estes. Because nothing
Just
stops
I have to
aggression
change his
more
name
than
soon.
extra health.
Soon?
Yeah,
I don't know,
It's all
bro.
about having a fountain of youth and unlimited replay the time on where you had mistakes. No, I think Echo might take that away, and we're heading to the draft in game number 2.
This draft here will need to see a lot of adjustments if you're the members of Blacklist International. They banned out the Wan, the Cho, and the Joy. All great first bans there. You don't want to give the Wan, but the Joy might be the pick. If I'm going to pick anything, that Blacklist International will adjust in terms of the banning. But then that would mean that they're going to need to pick up something with a suppress or a really good catch to throw a Joy off guard.
Oh, Renmar, Francis, this feels like deja vu. They're banning the same 2 heroes, and they're both on the same side.
They just need those kryptonites out of their play style. Diggy, Estes, same as Blacklist International. They're refraining from the setups that they can get from Sanford. Just imagine the setups and serving yourself to Benny Cutie. Massive change of gameplays, and they're trying to bring it down to a more leveled, competing style.
Venus and
Waiting for
Wise,
the ban
bro.
here. If this
Venus
is gonna
Wise,
be a Joy,
Edward's
it's
there
still gonna be
too.
pretty much the
It's
same.
With the
still
2
the
fresh
Kaja.
faces
Still the Kaja, though.
on the team.
So respecting still 3 picks, and oh my Venus. Blacklist International, if they want to change the look of this draft, they have to pick a different 3rd ban. and just be ready to answer it if ever it does come up.
There is hope, though. Something tells me this is the Blacklist international approach to most problems. They've done this before. I believe they've done this at M4 against Echo specifically, wherein they would just tweak maybe one or two things in their draft.
True.
And then just change the whole landscape of what the competition looks like. So we're waiting for it, whether it comes in the bans or whether it comes in their first 2 picks. It's possible.
Yeah, it could be both. It could be one different
Whole bunch
ban
of
and then
Venus
one different
bans.
pick, and then suddenly it's much favorable for Blacklist. And there it is. They take away the Farsa.
Wow, interesting.
This is boring. Can we watch more?
approach of Blacklist could either give
Get
a
the
better
hell outta
value
here,
where the
John. You're
most
never
of the
happy.
picks is Eve, Farsa, and a Savior that actually worked in his signature picks. And
You're never
they're not
happy,
wasting
John.
any time. But Joy is
I love
on
this.
for Echo.
I love this first pick here by Joy because now they don't have to worry about a Faramis. So it's going to be a question for Blacklist International. Do you have something like a Franco with Suppress? And now they'll be forced to not pick up the Eve because if
What's
you
interesting
up against
about
Joy,
the
you're
most
not gonna
recent
pick up the
patch
Eve, you're
notes
forced to pick up the
is there
Valentina,
wasn't any,
but
like,
Blacklist International still play a
crazy
very good card in
buffs
taking away the
anywhere.
Fredrin from Carl Tizzy and putting on
It
the
felt
Hands of
mostly
Wise.
just
It's
like
still
a couple
flex pick for me,
nerfs.
though.
Of course.
Yeah.
So,
but
like,
it's more likely
I
to go
don't
into the
know
hands of
if
Sanford.
too much has
This is a great
changed.
way to cut
And
through
there's no
the
hero.
Uber
I don't think there's
strategy
any
that
new
is
hero that
still
has really,
in
like,
the books for
shot into the
Blacklist.
meta.
As well, I'm loving the clapback from Master of the Basics and Dexstar. I mean,
Esmeralda
it's so
got
simple.
a decent
likely,
buff.
Likely this is going
Might
to be
be played
Wise
more
on
in the
Fredrin,
EXP.
and then still Yue on the Valentina.
Especially
and
if we
then
see
they say,
like Lapu
"Now
get
what,
picked
Trev?
up. I
Now
think
what,
the
Tic Tac?
Esmeralda
What do
could
you
get
do?
picked up
What do you
counter
guys
it
work
for.
with? And this is how you melt down a Fredrin. This is how you do it.
Get that Barrett's a really tanky presence. Someone who can avoid the potential terrify
Alright.
that a Valentina can dish out if he can get off the Detonus welcome just in time. And of course, Echo. They
So
picked
now
up
they got the
Brody.
Fredrin
It was
for
something
Wise.
that,
A little
if
bit
I'm
of a
not
more
mistaken,
comfortable
was
pick there.
banned earlier, but actually for Blacklist International, Blacklist International banned the Brody earlier. So
Sanford
Echo
on the
decided
Joy,
to pick it up
though.
early. Because having a lineup that has a Fredrin and a Valentina, most likely Blacklist are going to draft an XP laner with a really good
You know who
amount of
didn't get
dive.
touched in
Yeah.
the patch
That
notes?
Brody would
Joy.
be a great safe
So
pick
Joy's still
to
at the
get
same
right
exact
away
level.
so that at least you know your marksman's
Sitting in
gonna
the
be safe.
XP
And
lane.
3 picks in, there's nothing for you to steal.
Not
Not at all.
No ultimate just yet. Well, we might see a Valentina go
Two
nom
tanky
nom
front
on members of
lines.
Echo, but
Edward gonna get this
Blacklist will
glue.
have to wait for it.
Blacklist definitely
Yeah,
look
with
like
this,
they have a
with the pick of
much
Edward,
much
get his
cleaner
hands
composition
on
this
to
time
the
than
glue.
last time.
If I recall back in the matches of M4, this is one of the heroes that actually gave them wins.
Yep.
The interesting
And
thing about this
it.
is
Going into the
both the
bans,
glue
do
and
it,
the
Coach
Joy are
Master
both
the
going to
Basics,
try to
do
be
it,
doing the
Dexter,
same thing.
Take out the Faramis, because Sanji plays a mean Faramis.
Yeah.
We have seen that in the
What a
past.
super red pickup here, though,
A
right?
very aggressive Faramis at that.
Maybe the
just like his
Beatrix?
signature aggressive Eve where he would use the flicker in the first kill right away.
Yeah.
He'd flicker and get that pull off early on in the game.
If
Well.
anything, Sanji is the progenitor of the mid Faramis as an aggressive tool in MPL Philippines Season 10. So we'll see if he does that. Instead, they're covering their bases. That's a Kadira first. Because again, you don't know what Yaoi's playing. You don't know what Sanji's playing. So the Faramis can still be here.
I love that how Echo still remains unpredictable
Yeah.
even to this season. You just don't know.
Yeah, and what's interesting is Echo actually still has room in their draft to pick up their unique Valir Roam.
They
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
nerf
And
Fredrin,
make
you're
that
right.
another slap in the face for a Valentina of, are you really going to steal my ultimate?
Nothing.
Just like a glorified Purify? No, you're not going to be able to make the most out of it. So they take away the Franco. Ooh, I'm really feeling like this might be a Roam Valir for Echo later on.
Yeah, they're targeting Echoes. Yaoi's Frank, I've seen it on the streams. He plays massively. I'm wondering how he used those iron hooks. But what's the option here for
Could
Blacklist?
they take the Faramis? It's still possible. There's room.
Yeah.
There is room for it, but I'd want to see them save their roamer pick for last and then just go ahead
Yeah.
and pick up their
Indonesia was
gold
still
laner.
masked up too when we
They're
were
lacking-
Nope,
Oh.
it's still going to be the Faramis though.
Wait, they're lacking
Interesting.
the
This is the chess game.
damage.
This is the chess game. Yes, they do lack damage, but that's where they'll go all in. They'll invest in Super Ed. Renmar, what's left? What else can Super Ed pick up? What's good against the Brody that's not the Claude? Because that
I
just
mean,
got taken out.
They have the really safe Bea pick. They have an Irithel. We haven't seen Leslie in a hot minute though. Harith doesn't look like there's room in this draft, especially up against an Eve. It's gonna be
Yeah,
hard.
too much magic damage. They gotta go for an
okay,
actual
so
marksman. I
Valir
think the
Eve
Beatrix is
As
just
a roam
solid.
mid combo looks really good right now, but it's most likely gonna be a traditional roamer. No, because Valir!
They're doing it. They're doing it.
We We know our world champions. That's,
know it
that's
on the
what it is.
We've seen it
That's what it is.
firsthand. We've seen it firsthand. It's Yowie's Valier.
Yo, Trex, how did it feel being an absolute
And this is
giant
just,
going into
again,
this new country?
going
It
to call
felt
back
good.
to the idea
Felt
that they
good,
had with
John.
this kind of draft
Felt
in MPL
like I was a
preseason
god.
Grand finals when they paired it with a Lilia.
A man amongst
You're just
men
gonna
and
be
women.
maximizing slows and controls because right now this lineup of
All the
Blacklist
girls
is
are like
slow
half
front
my
to back
size.
Yeah.
Fuck,
because
freaking
they
loved
are
it,
gonna
bro.
be playing around Super Red, as Leo mentioned. And again, all of the marksman picks that we mentioned, you're not going to pick a Harith here. It's just going to be one of the marksmen. It's still a Moskov yet again.
It's still the same. They're still looking at the same formula to make it work in game number 2. But there's a lot of pushbacks for the skills
I'm gonna
of
be
Echo
honest.
Right now. The AoE,
I don't like
they
the
have a
Moskov
-1,
here.
They have a catch from Carl Teasy's Barretts. This is
Especially
purely
against
damage,
the
setups,
the Valier.
countering everybody in Blacklist.
And that's what's so hard because
He's
Blacklist
so close
right now
range.
is all about that Taylor Swift album from 2012. It's all about
And
Red.
if
So how
he
do you
doesn't-
do this? How? Because once
If he
Red is
doesn't
out of the
play
picture,
from the
what if
bush,
Red can't get the
like if he
damage
doesn't
in?
play very,
Echo has just more ways to solve problems and to
he's
actually
always
present
got to
more
come
problems.
in late,
All right, we're on
right?
the
He
Taylor
can't,
Swift
like he
train
needs
right
to
now,
be
so I'm
so
just gonna say,
careful
if they want to go
because he
all
gets
red,
pushed
they're gonna have
back
to
and
play
stunned for
fearless.
1
Yeah,
second.
and fill
He's
all
dead.
the blank spaces in the early game.
Exactly.
I should not have started this.
Man.
Welcome back to the English stream. I've missed you, boys.
It only
His
shows
timing
how
in these
swift
fights
you are,
needs to
Mr.
be
Daniel
clutch.
Kubarashi.
Let's not. But again, just like how Blacklist is now presented with this problem, or I'd rather say an interesting situation, how do they make this work? Given that Echo has the momentum.
Best of
They
3,
have
yep.
the damage on
Caligrome,
board.
best of 3.
Let's see if they'll
Move my
start
camera.
early. If they can do it in the first maybe 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be more of a tempered game for our two teams here. Blacklist International doesn't have to worry about getting absolutely snowballed like in game number 1 as long as they play things smart. But UA has to be incredibly careful because this Eve and Valier combo will make things very difficult for a Valentina early on. They're going to have to play it safe, play it slow, trust-wise in the retribution battles for the Turtles, maybe for the First Lord, and again, help Super Red.
It's the tempo.
Yeah,
It's the
I
tempo
really
for
think-
for Blacklist International that could actually work against Echo.
At this
All they
point-
need is to have that good macro play
At
up
this point,
against Sanford and even
I think
Yaoi,
they need
because
to hover
right now,
gold lane a
he's
bit more.
all over the
Put
map,
pressure on
burning
Benny Cutie.
bushes.
Let Wise
Yaoi
try to steal
about
turtles
10 health
himself.
walks away. That's just
Maybe even
damage
give
that a
up
Valentina
first turtle.
And a Faramis can put on at 1 minute 20 seconds.
Benny Cutie doesn't
Echo,
have
though,
too
does
much
have the little
mobility and
wander, so still
escapability
you
on
see
this
here how they should be at the advantage in the early game.
Brody.
Yeah, early game right
does
now.
have the flicker,
is
but still.
with the Orcas. What Blacklist can do is wait for time to work, but so far it's Yaoi who's
Try to get a
becoming
nice shadow
big
stampede, a
sort
nice
of
dive,
an
and
obstacle
get a
in this
hit
early
against the
game,
wall
but
or
all they
something
need to do
against
is
the
focus
tower.
on the laning phase
I think
could
that needs to
actually
be,
mean
that
business in
has
the
to
first
be
objective
win
to take.
condition, man.
In all
Gold lane.
fairness, one thing that Blacklist does have is the XP lane. Edward is bullying Sanford.
That's a glue.
Unless Sanford can find other people to dodge, or rather to dash onto with those joy beats, then that's fine. But against glue, against Edward, no dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a crucial turtle for the early game here because we're going to see how the rest of this game is going to be played.
Eve is
after
level
this
4,
first
Sanji's
turtle.
level 4.
Is someone going to just freely give it? Will Blacklist
Gonna
be able to
give a
take
lot of
over our
help.
problem?
Keep her
Will
eyes on
Echo be
Sanji.
able to
Edward.
contest?
Oh,
Here
Edward
we
taking
go.
a lot of
Edward
damage.
does use the split.
dove.
He does get popped here. Sanford dashing out to
Oh, he gets on, he gets on, he gets on.
Sanford, and now Turtle still up.
Wise takes Turtle.
Retribution, and they're not done.
Carl Teasy, though, with the
gets
munch
in, welcome. No one home, doesn't get the pushback, and now Edward's still alive. First
Bro.
one by Sanji.
Oh.
Teasy traded up for.
Well played, well played, well played, Blacklist. Pull him back!
Sanji goes down as well.
That was
a
clean.
masterful execution
That was
by
clean.
Blacklist.
Oh my Geo!
I gotta give it to them for that. That was clean, yo.
As we look at the instant replay, they were finally
Sanji
able to take
held
down
on to
Edward
that world
Echo,
manipulation for
but
so
now
long.
Carl Teasy fell, and Yua with a perfect placement with the real world manipulation, Starfield, and the
Nico
beautiful
Ninja, what's up?
flicker pull by the Queen. Tempo set, Blacklist. They're going to be able to fight.
That was
this
very
game.
clean.
Agent Zero. He really has eyes on who to target onto Echo. Just imagine your life dropping down on point 1, and he immediately activates the ultimate to the most vital player of Echo. giving so much space for Blacklist to respond. And finally, as you've mentioned, it's the Retry battle on the
I know I
early
got the
game.
echo jacket on, but we got to
That's
clap
all it
when a
took,
good
right?
play
Blacklist
comes, you know?
International winning the XP lane. Agent Zero bullying Sanford into an odd position, which throws the rest of Echo off, despite making it first on the scene at the turtle. So now with Blacklist up 500 gold, I'm wondering what the story is for the gold lane. We haven't really been checking in on our friends Benny and Red.
Yeah, so far we have seen Benny QT
Why is the
be
new banner
more
really
forward
clean?
in the positioning
What do
in
you
the
mean,
lane, while
bro?
Super Red playing a very reserved and cautious laning game, trying to stick to the tower as closely as possible.
Oh, Carl TZ spends his
Yeah,
retribution to slow down
So
my
is
Venus,
Yoso.
pushing the queen right into a wall with Dennis
Tina's
welcome,
dead.
popping him.
Benny QT
doesn't
finds
even
it, but gets
get
caught
an
against the
answer
wall.
back. No call out.
Super Red wants
Red
it.
dashing
Now he's
forward.
dead.
Yes!
Sheesh.
Takes down Blacklist
That hurts,
rookie.
bro.
That's a 2 for
That
9.
hurts.
How did Benny get away? That was close to a miracle, but great response by Echo.
Still going. Vengeance popped in by Sanford. He gets popped by Yue. That's a trade. They still have a retribution.
He wanted that
rise
so
here.
bad. Super
Playing
Red.
footsies with Carl TZ.
Echo
Can
not
they
backing
get
down.
it? Here comes Oh My Venus
Playing
pushing Carl
footsies with
away.
Carl
Pulling
TZ.
him from that main objective.
Wise takes it.
Gets a second turn.
Wise is
Now
still,
Carl TZ's
like-
gonna fall. Blacklist pushing on forward.
Talking
Wise.
about shaking off.
Doesn't matter
the first
what
game
team you
of
put
the
him
day,
on.
and that's just
The man's
Blacklist
retry game
managing to secure
is
two
just
objectives.
so
Retry
clean.
battle, as long as they
It's
try
just
to
so
put,
clean,
it's
guys.
the glue, and also Edward making it all work.
Yeah, we're seeing so much utility and ability by Blacklist International on Carl TZ just to stop him from getting those retributions off in time
So
and having
clean.
a comfortable retribution battle.
Zane's
so much
retry's
pressure
faster.
right now on the two-time world champion that Wise has won both retribution
Oh, come
battles in
on.
this game, and we said it earlier. Wise, Blacklist International needs to trust him in the turtle fights, and they have. They've trusted him, and they've set him up for success.
Trust and confidence is the answer for the Code Breakers up against the Orcas. It's the macro play. They're playing in the long game on how to address Echo's power spikes in mid-game. This is how they ab their lanes by just focusing on one goal.
Oh, it's actually right. The fact that they're still playing the long game, I'm talking about Blacklist, means while they're winning in the early, it's all good. Yue here keeping Carl TZ where he needs to be. Wise threatening a kill.
Here's the thing, though. We
Look
still
at
have
how
to worry
deep
about
these
Benny
exploders are.
QT.
Sanford and Edward.
Benny
Yeah,
QT
just
still
keep it
1,
clear.
0, and 1.
Yeah, and we
0
have to mention
deaths.
there,
Super
when
Red, on the
Yue
other
used that
hand,
real-world
0, 1.
manipulation, even though
And while
Benny QT
Blacklist
and
does
Yawen
have
were
the
very close to
advantage
the
right
edge
now
there,
in these
he still
turtle
devoted
pits,
most of the
in
hits
some of these
onto
early
Carl
neutral
TZ, knowing
objectives,
that
when
the
it comes to
rotations of
big
Carl
team
TZ is
fights in
crucial
this
to the
mid-game,
rotations
right
of
around the
Echo.
7th or 8th
Oh,
minute,
concealed
it's going to
play
be
by Yaoi,
trouble
threatening
because
to push onto
Benny's
that
gonna hit this
tier
power
one up
spike.
top. Now look how Echo is coordinating
And it's
off
gonna be a
Blacklist into this
problem.
top lane. They are forcing a response. This is where the turtle will spawn in 10 seconds.
A challenge for Echo. If they want this third objective, they're focusing on Super Red and Oh My Venus with the spams and connecting damage. Meanwhile, we have Edward and Sanford trying to
the
have
gold lead just
a
isn't
race
enough
going
just
to
to
the
make
turtle.
the power
That's
spike that
gonna be
Echo's
key.
going to get.
Whoever makes it onto
Who
the
makes
scene
it?
first will help their team
Sanford's
much
here.
better.
Gets it.
Sanford
Oh, it's Sanford!
confirms the turtle take, and now here comes an RWM from Sanji. Down goes Super Red. Called out
Super
the
Red
answer
having a
by
lot of
OIB.
trouble.
Sanji very low. Yaoi at half health.
Benny
There's a grab-
QT.
grab by Edward onto Carl TZ. Can the best in the world survive? The answer.
Benny
might
QT
be
flickers
no to
in.
Yue. Wants to put some more beads onto Carl TZ.
Benny QT
Oh,
finds
my
Wise in the
God.
back line. That's what I wanted to
Takedown.
see.
He's target agent Zero now.
Sanford,
Trying to
Yue.
get
Oh,
some
again.
damage control.
Oh my
Sanford
God.
taken down as a trade underneath tier 1 in mid. Echo bounces back 6-6.
What did I
In
say?
the
Power
drive
spike
to
7 minutes?
survive, it's
7, 8 minutes?
Sanford. Lights out and away we go, getting to the finish line.
Benny
and
QT.
just in time to be the one to not just help his team, but to be the one to take the turtle. The shield that they got from that turtle take changed the complexion of that team fight.
Just imagine how you activate those possibilities if you get the buff. It's all about timing, it's all about calculation, but now everything is being tied up. Looking up on these items, the only one who's rich enough is only Benny QT, managed to get the Blade of Despair. Now this is getting deadly, approaching mid lane. How will they answer the problem if you're Blacklist?
And now as you look at the item, Super Red just actually picked up a golden staff. Oh, in the mid lane though.
Yaoi obliges with his own. And now he gets eaten up and taken down as well. Red Mario was saying, Wise is going to be fine.
Yep.
I mean-
Benny QT.
You also have to
More
say,
items,
like,
yes, happier
Super
life.
Red's going against,
That's
he's
what I-
going
that's
against
what I wanted to
one of the
say.
best gold laners in the world right now.
All right.
So Echo understands they're about 600 gold ahead.
Day one on the
Sanford dashing
team.
on around Wise.
We got to give him a little bit of the
Benny
benefit of the
Cutie
doubt.
finally gets the job done
Just a
up
little
top. So I guess that does clearly show that Echo was playing towards
We're gonna
major
give him just a
objectives
little
anyway,
bit.
despite
You know,
the
come
first
day
couple of
2,
throws
day
going
3,
over
day
to
4.
Blacklist.
Yeah. And
Then
also
we'll
the
judge
scaling
him.
here is what they need actually for the damage of
I've
Blacklist
seen
International,
Kelra
because
play.
For the front line,
Seen
it
Kelra
actually-
play.
It could be Edward. It could be Oh My
Kelra
Venus,
wasn't in
but
the World
Super Red,
Championship,
is
bro.
the items enough? Is the damage enough? Heading on to 10 minutes onto this game.
Not just yet, a Corrosion Scythe and a Golden Staff. You have Barretts that you have to deal with, so you're going to need a little bit more items there to deal the damage onto that key target if you're Blacklist International.
Oh, look at Sanford
Whoa.
just dashing on through 3 or 4 members. And Carl TZ right in the
Look
middle
at
there.
Benny!
Yowie still finds him right in the middle where they need to be. Serving up a kill to Benny Cutie. Yue falls, Edward falls, and now
Uh-oh.
they're deep into
GG's,
the orange
GG's.
territory of Black International.
Venus!
Oh, my
Oh!
Venus! Taken down after a quick burn. And now Wise, the only one left here on
Bro,
the scene.
to-
Can Red survive? He eventually gets his way home. All this while, Carl TZ was taking Lord.
3 down and a 1 Lord to go for Echo. Get that magic defense reduction for that Genius one for Sanford. Team fight is totally working right now for Echo. 4.2k advance, and they're pushing.
Like I said,
in
the moment
in
they hit
mid.
that 7-8 minute mark,
How just fast the night changes. Just like that, Echo with a massive lead 10 minutes into this game.
2-0 easy, guys.
Blacklist International, yes, focus on Sanford, focus
2-0
on that
easy.
young man, because that third turtle steal absolutely changed the complexion of this
Look at
game.
Joy.
Now Echo are riding pretty with the momentum and confident in their ability to continue
I
this
really
ride.
love.
And it's that one thing.
You know, there's a few
that
character
Blacklist
walks
had
in this
for
game
them
that I
made it
really
work,
enjoy.
right? The
One
Blue
is
winning
the
against
Fredrin.
Joy.
He's got the
But it's
hand
at
in the
Blue,
pocket.
where it's
He's
looking
just like
hairy.
casually
Blacklist International,
strolling,
their style
like
of
he's
play
just
doesn't fit
he's
this
just
kind of
hanging out, bro.
situation
Like
where
this
you're
is
10
his
minutes
hood.
in,
Like this is where he
you were
lives
ahead,
in the
but
land of
4 or
Dawn.
5 minutes ago,
Doesn't
now
even
you're
care
down
that he's in the
5K.
middle of a
I
death
feel you.
battle.
I
And
feel
then you
you,
got
Leo, and
Joy
they're
as
pushing
well,
in.
who's
Echo is pushing in
skipping.
up top,
Joy is
trying to have
skipping,
the
knees
border
up,
again for
high as
Blacklist
hell,
International. How
happy
do you
as
get
could
out?
be,
Only
living her
vision
best
is what
life.
they can do, but this is totally enough for Echo
Two
to
favorite
push
character
forward.
walks in the
crashes
game
onto the
right
top, pops that holy shield, clearing the wave. All this while, Benny Cutie was pushing mid-tier 2. Now Yowie picks up an
Brody's
IC1,
always
so
been-
most of the targets that Echo want to kill,
Oh, look
they
at
will
that.
kill.
They
And
dive.
look at the tear apart memory. A lot of damage placed on Oh My Venus. Forced to use a cult altar to the back line.
Look at
They do
Sanford.
penetrate, breaking down top lane. Real manipulation by Yue, pushing away Echo. They will survive this
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
engagement. But only for so long. There's a wave
Brody's
down bottom,
always
there's a
been-
wave in mid.
been viable,
How does
man.
Blacklist defend?
Sanford with the zone out. An annoying placement.
I mean, of course,
to
like
spam
Beatrix
the
was
members
like
of
the
Blacklist
marksman
in
for
their
so
own
long.
base.
But
Well,
when
Echo's
Beatrix
choice
was
is
banned,
defenses.
Brody was
And
always
now, even with
an
an
up
ice being out
pick.
of the hands of Yowie, because of that, Edward is having a difficult time accessing the key targets onto Echo. For
He hasn't
most of the
always
game,
been
the
first
reason
or
why Echo was
second,
having a
but he's
difficult time
always
in the
been
first two
like
turtles,
a marksman
even the
that if
third
you
turtle
pick
before
it, no
Sanford
one's like,
stole it,
what the hell
was
is that?
Because that glue was such an annoying presence in a team fight that even though Echo would want Blacklist to play in a compact lineup,
He's just kinda high
just
risk,
because they
high
have a
reward,
glue
man.
bothering them makes things
Because
so
his
hard for Echo.
because his
But
build
now
is
that the
expensive,
lead has
right?
been
You
built
got to
up
get that BOT
considerably,
in up
there
front,
are
things
items
like
to
that.
stop Edward
And
from
like if
doing
you don't
what he
get
wants to do.
if you
Blacklist is
die
having
early
a hard
on,
time finding
he
that
falls
turnaround.
off heavy.
Items, damage, and space. Call that control and domination for Echo. Almost
Like if you
6.5K
start the first 5
gold
minutes
lead
like 0-1
for the
0, or like
Orcas.
you take 2
And they're
deaths,
managing to
then
spam
you're
and look
then
at
you're a
the damage
useless hero
connecting.
like the whole
And mind
game.
you, that was just the roamer from Echo dealing a lot of damage. That's just the
Yowie.
roamer. Think of what Sanford can do.
Oh
Think
my
of
goodness.
what Sanji can do, right? So, again, as amazing as Agent Zero was in the first half of this game, they have to find a way. They have to find an answer elsewhere.
What's the angle? What's the opening for Blacklist International? How are
It
they
might be
pushing
this.
forward?
Could it
There
be?
isn't
It was
one. There
Wise
isn't one.
initiating the fight. Real manipulation by Sanji. Check out Yue. He doesn't have an ult stolen. Benny
Oh,
Cutie
that was
forces
close.
real
Super Red's dead.
manipulation.
GG's,
Answers with a
GG's.
call out,
Benny,
point upon
Benny,
memory.
Benny boy.
Too much
Benny
for Super
boy.
to survive. Now Wise is in trouble. He's gonna go down. Can Edward
That's true.
survive? He's walking away. Oh my Venus gets up.
Oh my God, look at him go.
And Benny
Oh,
takes down
Benny.
another. It's
He
Sanford
wanted
who
it so
gets the
bad.
kill. 3 for 1. Can they finish?
They're
There's a
styling
wave in
now,
mid.
guys.
Bottom
They're
looking okay
they're styling
for
now.
Blacklist. they'll pull back.
They're doing whatever they
Benny
want.
Cutie a little bit too eager to get that kill onto Oh My Venus, committing his flicker to try to get the stun off, but he got bursted down.
He's 5-1 and
before
5,
Benny
bro.
Cutie
Let
gets
him live
to
his
secure that
life.
kill. Echo, they still have the lead, a considerable lead, but Blacklist
There's a
International
diff
now
in
have
this
shown that
game
they can
right
fight
now.
back despite that.
Yeah, they have the
Does
defense,
whatever he
they have
wants.
the grab, they have the isolation. Blacklist answers to the problems of Echo. Meanwhile, they're trying to look for openings here by beating them with the Lord.
Blacklist slowly making an entrance onto the scene. It looks like they're looking to make a play. They're looking to contest. All 5 members are here. Echo, though, they're still recollecting. They're still regrouping.
Yeah, Sanford needs to time his entry though with Sanji's real world manipulation, because if not, Super Red, the one knockback on that Joy might just
Honestly,
catch Sanford off guard, get him stunned if his back's
I'm going to
against
be
the
honest
wall,
with you
and he'll
guys.
be able
I feel
to
like
be
the
taken down
Fairmies
quickly.
roam
Oh,
has
wow.
been bad for
Benny
a while.
Cutie and Yowie able to focus down
And
on
teams
Edward.
are still trying to
Zoning
fit
out.
that
Agent
circle
Zero.
peg into a
You
square
get nothing,
mold.
sir, as Echo secures this
I
luminous
think
orb.
since
That's how hungry
M4,
Blacklist
I didn't like the
International is, but
Fairmies
they're
in
not
M4.
risking it. They need time here. They need time for Super Red and for UF for the late game. Is
Rome,
this the
Mage,
answer?
wherever the hell you
It's
want
a
to put it, I
2,000
didn't like
gold
it then
lead right
either.
now for the marksman of Echo. Benny Cutie has almost all his items locked
Yeah,
in.
I think it's been
and
rough.
for Super Red, still catching up. So it's still dire straits for Blacklist International. But right now, they have shown that their best approach is to make the most out of Echo over aggression.
I think teams just,
Can
like,
they
for
punish?
some reason, they
Is it
really
gonna
just
happen here? We
want it
saw
to work.
Oh My Venus did it to Benny Cutie, and it looks like number 1 goal here is to just quell this Lord. He
They need to
marched
hold it.
in. Sanford dashing on through. Benny's very far. This could be bad. This could be trouble.
Sanford goes down.
Taken down. A shutdown
Blacklist.
kill for Blacklist International.
They needed that.
And they
They
clean
needed
up
that.
house.
They're answering it slow. That's the wave clear. The wave clear of Super Red slowly hitting Sanford. They can easily take down one in Echo unless they go sour once again.
And this is what we were talking about. Echo needs to temper their desire to end this game.
Moscow have
with
time
Blacklist
now?
International. Let's talk about one of
We'll
the
see.
best redeeming
He's
factors
0,
of their
3, and
lineup.
1.
It's
I don't know
gonna
if
be
it's
difficult
time
to end
yet.
the
He
game
might have
against them
another
because
2
they'll
or
have
3
a blue
minutes.
just trying to stop you, while the other members of Blacklist International will clear the minion waves.
And that's what we were talking
He
about.
is looking fast, though.
First half of the
He's
game,
a fast boy.
Edward was great. Now,
Okay, you're
they
right. It
found
might be
the answer
Moscow time.
elsewhere, but look at this. They
Uh-oh.
catch out one. Carl Teasy.
Super Red,
in the
come
middle
on,
of the
Super
ball.
Red,
Sanji
come on.
Swiping, tapping. And
Come
down
on.
goes Carl Teasy. Yue gets the kill. Yowie in trouble. Gets the hell out of dodge. Flickers on through.
stun.
Sanford
The
very
stun?
low. Sanford gonna survive. An RWM by Yue as well. The original Eve pushing them back. Sanji says, "Thou shall not pass." And Blacklist.
Sanji
they're gonna have to
said-
run. Check out Benny
Yowie,
Cutie. though.
Yowie.
He's gonna do his thing.
Oh!
Cancel out, baby!
Uh-oh.
Again, Benny!
Benny! You gotta go. 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 You gotta go.
One more. Not again, says Blacklist.
Not this time! Not this time! Blacklist defending the signature split push out of Benny Cutie, just one hit away!
Day 1, baby.
One hit away for Echo, and just as that, the gold is now even for these two teams, and the Code Breakers are trying to march forward in the base of the Orcas. What's
Game
the
3.
answer?
Oh, too much
Game
damage for
3.
Sanford to sustain.
He hurts.
Carl Teasy as well. Forces out. Addendum
Game
welcome.
3.
It's going to keep him alive for only so long. Red deals too much damage, serving up a kill to Yue. But it is going to be enough to keep Echo in this game. But no dice. Blacklist going to get this Lord clean.
Black is fighting back, no retribution on the side of Echo as Carl Teasy is down. Blacklist International succeeding in their checklist. Wait, defend, and make a play when needed. They've made multiple plays, and now they've taken the Lord. 18 minutes going into that, close to the end of the game.
Super Red. There goes my nightmares of a Moscow. It's happening, and it's not stopping to have this wave cleared, and it's going to push it down bottom.
There's only one more thing that could make this worse. If he sells his boots and goes straight up with just all-in damage.
Full damage.
crazy.
No more extra attack speed. I just want one more damage item.
He did it.
That might be good.
He
Ain't
did it.
no
He did it.
way.
He
No
did it.
boots.
Yeah, but He
Almost.
got
Benny,
that
he almost.
Haas clause. He's going to be a target
Almost.
to really watch out for here. And we've seen it. We've talked about it earlier. Sanford will need to try and
Almost.
time his entries because if not, one knockback to throw off Sanford will just be enough for Blacklist to respond right away and take that Joy down. And we've seen it 3 plays in a row now.
This is a big of a problem now for Echo. Time is not being on their side right now. It's Blacklist.
Yeah, at this point, I
having
think Blacklist
enough
have this.
damage to finally answer the defense and the armor of Echo. If you're Carlteasy, if you are Yawi, who do you punish? Who do you catch? Is the defense enough? 90 minutes in.
This is the signature rubber band from Blacklist International. They can switch players out. They can change their strategies. But best believe when it comes to the late game, no one comes close to execution, to potential comebacks. This Lord marching up top, all the waves synced up. This is going to be difficult for Echo.
Yeah. They might not lose a lot of turrets here if they play their cards right. Maybe just 1 or 2 and leave 1 available for them.
That's a lot of
Blacklist,
turrets.
if they decide to play aggressive,
A lot of 2
might be able
turrets,
to
2
win the game.
inhibitors. That's a lot, Renmar.
Watch out.
Aggressive or cautious? What's the answer of Blacklist right now? Clearing. Echo has enough time to clear the waves
just
up
lose
top
1.
and down bottom, but this is completely mirroring what happened
Totally.
early on in game number 1. Blacklist now secures a border up against Echo's buff.
Yep, the shoe's on the other foot this time around, and Blacklist
Who
is
let that through?
coordinating,
Ken.
quarantining
Ken.
Echo into their own side of the map, close to almost inside their own base, but signs of life here from the M4 World Champions. As
Don't be
Carlteasy
letting
gets
those
his own
comments
purple.
through, bro.
Yeah.
How do they shake it off, Renmar?
Man, with so much damage that Blacklist International is dishing out right now, he had to
No,
pick
you
up
can't.
a rock potion. As we even see here, Carlteasy, he actually holds the most kills in MPLPH's history with 1,450 and counting. But right now, he's playing incredibly defensive, having to pick up a rock potion just to survive the onslaught of damage.
Now it's the late game, the ultra late game that these
I'm on
2
myself
world
better than
champs
that.
are playing into the second game of this match. This is just purely control. Discipline for Blacklist, not giving up. It's the same style.
Yep.
It's the same cook that they're trying to bring out up against Echo.
Yep, and we've seen this before, and it's an odd scene. I haven't really seen Echo on the back foot in quite a while.
Yeah.
So this is
All right,
some
here we go.
fever dream for a lot of Echo fans. Limang Echo fans are now turning in their sleep. They're saying, yo, this is far from what we expected.
Venus gets
A
the
flicker
pull.
in, starting a fight.
Double world
Targeting
manipulation.
the action.
Sanji goes down first. Sanford looking for him. Super Red gets the outplay, moves to the side. Will end up going down. Immortality pops.
An immortality, but down goes Sanford
Uh-oh,
first 2 for none so far.
Super Red down, Super Red down.
Look at Benny.
Benny Cutie's
Where's
still
Benny?
up.
He's just
Watch
about
Bet.
to go in the
Oh.
fight. Carlteasy about to go down here.
Is
He
he
has
gonna
an
go for it?
immortality.
No.
He pops.
Benny's not gonna
Benny
go for it.
Cutie,
There's
what's
no
the
plan.
plan?
Benny!
He's
He can't do anything. He
Front
can't.
Set up here.
He can't do
Benny
anything
Cutie
here.
Plays the cautious game. Did come in at the right time. That was a 2. Make that 3 for 1.
Yawi and Benny, the only 2 players left up against 5 of Blacklist International. Can they hold
Look
it?
at Wise.
Can they hold the
Not
defense?
today,
Oh,
Benny.
It's Yawi and Benny. It's 4 members of Blacklist coming in. They take down inhibitor in mid.
I'm not gonna
Just
take away
one
his mod roll.
left for Blacklist. Could it be US steals a real manipulation?
Oh.
Yawi and Benny able to clear this wave. Oh wow, Blacklist decides instead go for something else.
Yeah, we worked overtime there, making sure that the minion waves that Blacklist International had with them in the mid lane was cleared. Great call there by Yawi, but Blacklist International played the team fight that led to that situation incredibly well. A lot of questions though as to why Benny Cutie let
Echo
that
lose a
fighter
tower
join
for the
that fight.
opportunity.
Late
to
entry,
maybe
but it
contest
seemed
this
like
Lord,
Echo
right?
decided to play that incredibly cautiously. They just wasted and respected the fact that if Benny Cutie
Yeah, I think
fell
they
in
should've
that
went
team
for Lord
fight, it
too.
would have been over. So they played it safe.
Correct, Remar. Just as you are watching this right
But
now
they
on
get
your
an
screens,
inhibitor out
Echo
of
is
it,
being
right?
more cautious, knowing that their defense is not enough right now in the ultra
Stalemate
late
in towers.
game.
The Blacklist is a
They're
5K
taking
goal
another
lead.
step back on how to wait and even outplay Blacklist right now.
He already tried to
And Wise and
backdoor.
Carlteasy here.
Whoop.
Push and pull. It's a tug of war for this evolved Lord.
Whew.
22 minutes scaled in. So it has all of the skills, all of the damage, all of the abilities. Whoever takes this might as well be the winner of game 2. Now watch Benny Cutie. He's protecting himself, not revealing himself on the map. could this be? Take two, another go at that attempt that we just saw mere minutes ago.
Need to be careful.
Tendency of the past has shown that this is the favorite position of Echo for the split push plays.
Sanji with the real manipulation, he obliges. And
Edward is also now
Grab
bulky enough
by
to
Agent
where...
Zero on the Carl Teasy. Adena's welcome on to Wise, but to push him into the wall. Now it's Ewan's turn.
Retry game. Wise takes it.
Secures the Lord. Now Benny.
Oh!
Yue still alive. Super Red takes down Sanford. Here comes Benny Q to get a clean up house. Pops the immortality on to Agent Zero. Benny Q to get
Super, you need to go. Super, you need to go, bro. You need. Oh, come on, Super.
Sanji gets a kill. Wise gets the immortality pop, and that's gonna be 2 for 1 so far. Echo playing the numbers game.
We're going the
very
long
well.
haul, bro.
My goodness.
Echo in the
I don't know,
lead
60
with that
seconds.
Team fight. It's 51 for Super Red.
No
55
damage for Blacklist.
Wise and counting. Echo have their eyes set in the mid lane. Blacklist International have a lot
There's
of
only one
minion
minion.
wave
There's only
clear,
one
though.
minion.
Will Echo really try
You
to
able
force
to get
this
that,
into?
which
How
is
can
really
they
good.
finish it?
They're starting it up. Yue popped in by Benny Cutie with a forward flicker.
There was
And
no
then
opportunity.
PopSL provided by the Cult Altar, and there's Carl DZ throwing.
They need to get that minion
Edward
out of there,
right
bro.
into the stump of this mid lane inhibitor, and now Edward
Bro.
and Yaoi.
Bro.
They're just TP on each other now.
Bro.
Gonna go down here as well.
Bro,
Ladies and
what
gentlemen, the world
happened?
champions stand
What
tall.
happened, yo?
Loud and
Blacklist.
They're finishing it. They're doing it. They're saving it with a dominating performance. That's a 2-0 in the
GG's.
first match of the season. The world champs back at it again.
In another episode of the Golden Rematch, Loud and Proud stand tall as the code was broken again. They will meet up yet again later in the season. But for now, Echo will be hella proud that they opened up Season 11 with a victory over the defending MPL Philippines champions.
No matter how loud that this crowd can be, the faces of Yaoi, Carl Teasy, and everybody, they really had a hard time in that mid to ultra late game. But seeing all the smiles right here on the screen, this is just purely sportsmanship up against Blacklist again today.
We saw what the rookies of Blacklist could bring. I am not disappointed. I'm actually happy to see Yue able to walk away with 1 HP, taking down cores from Echo. I'm happy to see Super Red pick
What
up
was
the
that,
slack and be
26
the
minutes?
core damage dealer that Blacklist needed to be. There's definitely something here, a diamond in the rough.
Right now, Echo will stand tall. Not a diamond in the rough, but a very obvious diamond at that. Happy with their victory. 2-0 to start off this season.
Echo Express, call it One Direction, but that's how they shake it off in game number 1. And game number 2 on that hiccup, that's how they managed to pull themselves off. That you mentioned about Yue, they have the bait and pull, it's still in them. They're connecting. This is how they program themselves to actually blend with Oh My Venus, Edward, and even Wise. It's still not the end for Blacklist International, but today it's Echo getting the upper hand of this match.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Leo mentioned here that we saw glimpses of what Blacklist International see in Yue, see in Super Red. We got to see them play crucial roles in that second game, and it's good to see the rookies, the young bloods of Blacklist International, perform really well and show up. They didn't get that victory, but it's a good start for the rookies of Blacklist.
I'm excited to see what else Blacklist has prepared for us. As sad as I could be to see Renegade not playing in the opening day of MPL Season 11, I'm happy to see Edward still here as well. He's the glue that actually held this relatively perilous strategy together. I mean, all of your damage on just Red, a lot of it was made possible, and the comeback was made possible because of Agent Zero, because of a Munjingjing. And it was so close. Honestly, I have to say it was so close.
Yeah, it was very close.
Everything's
I
really
think,
alive, but right now, let's throw it over to Mara together
We
with
had to
the
tweet,
Orcas and
guys.
Echo
We had
on
to shoot the
stage.
tweet out. We had to shoot the tweet out, guys.
On stage, the winning team, Echo. Congratulations.
Mara's looking fuzzy.
Ang ganda ng unang
Echo and
round
Blacklist
ng
remind us why we watch
for the
MLBB
season
esports in their
opener.
game
Ano
2
yung
of
ginawa
day
niyo
1.
off-season?
20+ mins of pure excitement, but in the end, Echo comes out on top. Black still needing
Bale, yung
to iron out some
preparation po
kinks,
namin,
and
same
Echo
lang din
taking
po as
full
season
advantage as a
10.
well-oiled
Like
machine.
scrims and
Hashtag,
all. Pero
Blck,
yung
bang, bang.
pagkakuha namin ng world champion, ginawa namin yun ng inspiration, hindi para maging complacent kami na parang tumigil na kami. Isa na rin yun sa parang pinatikim kami ng panalo kaya gusto pa namin.
Inside scoop, anong ginawa? Paano kayo nag-celebrate? Did you guys go on vacation?
Opo.
Marami. Kwento, saan kayo pumunta?
Most of it, I think it
Una
was
po, may trip
mostly
po
through
si Bunton dun sa
invite,
Yogyakarta.
but all the
Tapos
new
yun po.
faces
Tapos,
were like
nagkaroon po kami ng
people.
community party
So like
and victory party po. And nagkanya-kanya.
after
pumunta
M4
sa kanya-kanya
qualifiers happened,
Now, anybody can answer
like
this.
me and
Pagpasok
Dave started
nyo sa
prepping for
bagong
M4,
MPL
etc.,
studio,
etc.
How did it feel like walking in front of
stuff
all
like
these
that.
people
And
as
a lot
the
of
world
local
champion?
casters continued to
Nung pumasok
practice.
kayo, talagang
And
dumagdag
like
yung
really
confidence. How did it
all
feel
last
like?
year, we've been keeping our eyes
Boost of
open and
confidence ba
peeled
yun
for
sa
new
harap ng
talent.
ating mga audience?
And pretty much, yeah. So
Opo.
we had some people in
Okay,
mind,
so
and as
anong
long as they
bago
continue
ngayon
to
for
do
Echo
well in
coming
the
this
kind of
season?
underground scene,
Abangan na lang po
We,
nila kung anong bago namin.
now the
Aabangan.
invites got sent
Hey,
out.
Carl naman, did you know that you hold the most kills sa MPL history? So if you had a different goal, a new goal this season 11, other than of course getting the championship, what would that be?
Highest tank damage po.
Highest tank damage. Aabangan natin yan. Congratulations once again to Echo. You may now walk off the stage so you could greet the fans. Echo Philippines making a statement.
Tic-tac.
Talagang mas gumanda ang bonding nila, lalo na pagkatapos nilang kunin ang trophy sa World Championship. Carl TZ holds the most kills, pero sabi nga niya, he wants the highest 10 kills. Aabangan natin ang performance ng Echo this season 11. At ngayon, para pag-usapan pa ang naganap at ang nangyari sa ating laban, balikan na natin ang ating casters. Casters, pasok.
Truly, the GOAT has a complete goal for this season, and how they managed to
bro, do
pull
we still have
a
an hour
statement
till the
up
next
against
game?
defending
That's the
champs of
real
MPL
question,
Philippines
guys.
is something that they can actually breathe as they go up to the matches for this season. Man, the crowd, the drum beating feels like I'm back again in Jakarta. This is something different that we're actually feeling right now. On to this day, Ren Marleo.
Yeah, actually feeling it. It's not we can hear the drums. I feel it in my chest and in my bones. It's right behind us.
Amazing performance, but right now let's break it down on how Echo managed to dominate that game number 2 with our analyst. Throw it away and
I didn't
take
get
it away,
permission to
Ren
watch
Mar.
ID yet.
Thank you, OSX. It
Yeah.
was a beautiful game by these two teams. A roller coaster of emotions. If you're fans, well, just in general, just a general roller coaster of emotions. We saw in the beginning Blacklist International finding their stride, controlling the game for the first two turtles because they controlled
Sad.
two crucial aspects of the map, the XP lane and the turtle objectives, specifically Sanford and Carl TZ. We have to talk about glue here. I think
Or
I
Fire
get
vs.
what
Rebellion
Leo was
1-1
trying to
right
say
now.
Earlier. Edward really was the glue that held things together because his presence in a team fight and in the map, first with making life difficult for Sanford before he got his items up. Sanford had a difficult early game because of the efforts of Edward in the XP lane. And then once they got into the team fights, Blacklist knew, yeah, there's a lot we need to respect on the lineup of Echo, but it's going to be a while until they're going to be in a comfortable spot. So let's play aggressive. Edward was always there in those turtle fights, making his presence felt, being a nuisance to Echo, that Echo couldn't just avoid the glue, because if they did, well, they're going to have a lot of problems and get potentially wiped out or even get 4-killed, which we saw early on. Blacklist International were winning a lot of the early game fights. The presence of the Cult Altar as well for Blacklist International, having that second chance team fight to extend the time that
Bro,
Super Red
Echo.
can deal damage, and for UA as well, was a great tool on the side of Blacklist International that they played around. But then, in the third turtle of the game,
Echo's
saw
just always
Sanford
fun
make
to
that
watch.
crucial play of being able
I feel
to
like
get to
get
the
to
turtle
mid-game,
just
end-game. I
in
feel like they're just a
time
fun
that
team to watch
even
play.
He was the one that got the damage that secured the turtle on to the side of Echo, and having that shield up was the crucial factor as to why Echo won that fight. Dare I say, it was their second chance utility, having that shield from the turtle. So it's a common theme between
Correct.
these two
Honest
teams,
take on
having
why
that
Indo
second
team's
chance
having a hard
utility.
time
But on
to
the
winning
side of
against
Blacklist,
BHT.
and for the side of Echo, once you have the
Oh,
immortalities up, we
man.
saw how well they can still team fight even after their immortalities have been popped, and in the time where they got the turtle by the third one. But then Blacklist International defended incredibly well. That even the MVP of the game, Benny Cutie,
Two malefic
could barely
roars.
get close to the members of Blacklist International in the times where Echo wanted to end the game. Hence why
It's a hard
Blacklist
call, man.
International got control back. But one of the reasons why the MVP of the game was Benny Cutie, because this is a tendency that we've seen from Echo ever since M4. Benny Cutie plays the equivalent of what I would call in football a
I don't want to
false
say
nine.
like
Because sometimes in crucial team fights, Benny Cutie won't be there, or he will leave the team
I don't know if
fight
it's
early
that's what I was just going to say.
because
I don't
Echo
want to
would
say
want
it's
to see if they
exactly
have the option
coaching
for the Benny
and
Cutie split
analysis
push
and
play,
back end stuff.
or Benny Cutie will play
because,
that sweeper role wherein suddenly
like
when
we've
you least
seen
expect
we've
it,
seen
he
Indo
will score.
teams
He will score the
have
kills and
really
finish off the
interesting
members of
drafts and
Blacklist
very
International.
depth drafts.
And it's
And
something
like
that Blacklist,
and
I believe,
even
was also thrown off by, because
even
we saw how well they were fighting. If Benny Cutie joined
Onyx-
and continued those team
Onyx
fights,
PH
in those crucial team fights in the late
was
game,
like
especially
before
that
M4
Lord
started,
was taken by
they were
Blacklist in the
they
end, but then
technically had the
Echo was
deepest
able to
hero
win the team
pool than
fight in the
any
end.
other team. During
But
MPLID, they had like
probably what we're seeing is
53
game 3 of
unique
Blacklist
picks.
going into game 3
They had
with
more
momentum.
unique picks in
But
their
this
season
unique take
than
of
any
making
other
sure your
team
marksman just
had in
stays
any
back
season
and
or any
waits for that
tournament around the
opportunity,
world,
not
right?
necessarily damaging
So,
right
like,
away, because
we
they
can't say that
know
it's just
Echo,
like
Echo knows they can
draft
extend
or
the team fight
anything
and
like
wait.
that.
They have a very tanky lineup. They have a tanky Barretts. They have a Joy
I
that
I
isn't
want
a
to
joke
I'm gonna
to
throw
take
an
down.
idea out
Also,
there,
still
right?
very difficult to take down that
Just
Joy,
for this
that they
year.
can wait for Benny Cutie to buy this time and just
Not
find the
PH.
perfect
I meant to say
opportunity.
Onyx
And this
ID.
last
My bad.
crucial
I meant to
team
say
fight is
Onyx
what we
ID.
were talking
I meant
about
to say
here.
Onyx ID,
Blacklist
not
International
PH.
secured the Lord,
Um,
but look, Super Red was already taken down because he decided to fight, which was
I meant
the
to
right
say
call.
Onyx ID.
But Echo trusted in each other that even though Benny Cutie wasn't
I want to throw
there,
this idea out there, like
it's fine because they
So,
have the tankiness and they will
during
eventually have the damage from Benny Cutie
M4
joins in,
at least.
that they will win the team fight. Echo carrying on over the lessons and the tendencies that we saw from them from the M4 World Championship really well in this series, and especially in that second game with how they played Benny Cutie.
You know what it really is? I'm like really thinking on this.
But of course,
You know what I
again,
think it really
Blacklist
is?
International has a lot of things to be
You-
proud of
you
in
had
their
a
last
team
game,
like
and I'm sure these
Echo.
fine gentlemen
I
beside
think
me will be able to
PH,
pitch in as well. So, Leo,
their
what did
full
you-
rosters-
What did you see in Blacklist
their full
International
rosters
there
are just
as
better.
a redeeming quality for them?
like
Well, number one,
Every
they know how to leverage
player-
their advantages again. The
Like, when
glue
you look at
was a
Echo,
winning lane, and that's what bought the
every
whole
player
red
on that
Moscow
team is a
comeback, right?
total
Number two is
star.
Even as rookies,
Like, let's
very
just be
good
real.
threat assessment. UA was
When you look
almost
at
single-handedly
Blacklist
responsible
during
for saving that
M4,
game against Benny Cutie. That
Oheb,
aside, I think there's more things that they can work on. in the next
Wise,
In the next few weeks, we're about to
Edward,
witness more of the
Venus,
greatness of our
Haji,
teams who have
like,
just managed to finish
all of
game
them
number one. But now
are
we have a lot of things to look
fucking
after,
peak.
especially in
But,
game
like,
number two. Once again,
when you
it's
look
us,
at
the
Onyx
true Bear Bros,
Indonesia,
OMX Leo and Renbar will be back in the next match of the day.
Kyrie was the star, right? Kyrie was the star. I'm not taking anything away from any of the other players,
Partner of MPL Philippines season.
but like, I think that they like, as a full roster, they just weren't it, right? I mean, they were it. They're like, I hate to say that. This is worried. You know, we're gonna get clipped here and it's gonna get taken out of production. But like, not everyone is a Kyrie, right? On that team. Not everyone is a is a Benny Cutie or a Carl Teasy or a Sanford, like those things, right? I also feel like once again, Indonesia wanted to favor a lot of assassin junglers, and it's just like, yes, they're good. Like, yes, the Hayabusa was really good during M4. The Fanny is almost always good. but like the meta was Frederick, right? Like your tanky junglers are always gonna have an advantage during those objectives. And like even though Kyrie is a god on on like the Hayabusa and other assassins, like the reality was that the bulkier junglers, the fighter junglers, things like that, were still ended up being the better pick. And like in both Indonesia teams kind of had trouble accepting that, I feel. I think that could be another reason, right? A 1 hour wait. Oh my god. What am I supposed to do for an hour, guys? A whole hour? Sheesh. We might just watch that first best of 3 and not stay up all night, yo. Give me 1 sec, guys. That game just went by so fast, guys. It went by so fast.
Swaylo comes in to pick Kabuki off. Kabuki jumps back to the BMI, but still gets sniped down by Swaylo. They're able to defend, but 3 base turrets have been taken down.
Wow, I would have thought that Rebellion Zion would be able to end it there and then, but Aura Fire, they were still able to defend with a beautiful knockup from Godiva in that last second as we take a look at the instant replay here, Rashi.
In the final fight, Godiva just comes out massive.
Stop.
Knocks up multiple members.
Stop. Should I stop?
There's 2 eyes here, and that just enables the team to follow up.
Rebellion not winning a game this season. He voted for Rebellion, though.
But when it comes to the end of the engagement, it's still an 8k gold lead. It's not nearly as much as before, but look at the items. Some of those kills has been translated to some power spikes on the side of Aura Fire. Everyone's still tanky, but in the main seat here is gonna be Kabuki with the Athenas try and jump into those big engagements, but it's gonna be easier said than done because for Rebellion,
We stopped. We'll watch it on my phone. I can't watch. We're gonna watch this.
Dance once
Lord,
again.
this Lord
Rebellion
dance.
Zion High is actually popping into some
We're gonna watch
encores.
this
They
Lord
might actually
dance.
want to commit this time around with the waves crashing in all at the same time. Aura Fire are forced in this position where they can't really do much. But the airstrike
on
coming down
Fanny.
onto Cars, but he's way too tanky. Still, 1 HP. Kabuki comes back in with a Blazing Duet, but will not be able to find enough damage as that's the Lord played super well by Rebellion Zion.
Yeah, that was beautiful, right? Beautifully executed. None of them grouped in as one. They all had their own job description, and at the end of the day, with
Harmon Cohen,
the
so like
ultimate
what you
domain
said
from
is
God, it
true,
couldn't do
right?
much, and Heis
But
is
the
just
thing is
styling at this point.
Indo
10-0
kept
and
trying
3, man. Might as well.
to run
There's just no
those
solution from the side
that
of Aura
meta.
Fire, but now Facehugger has
Ow.
a lot of damage. Divine Glaive has been completed, so now Rebellion Zion needs to be very careful. A well-timed wombo combo can
Godiva,
take him
Godiva.
out of the game, and look at Godiva making a play happen.
Oh, Fluffy finds the sun out the 3 into the back line. You see Sway Low gets slain. Now it's gonna be Heis who jumps in back into the Zaman Force onto Facehugger, kiting back and forth
I really
onto
like Aura
Godiva. Way
Fire.
too tanky, even with the Blazing Duet. Heis forced to back away now onto Fluffy, who's 1 HP, who's able to flicker out 1 for 1. Go deeper for Sway Low as Heis gonna be able to get taken low with the immortality still intact. Vincent comes in with the damage, not able to find Kabuki just
Oh,
yet,
no,
but
the
with the
base.
Zaman Force opened up,
Base.
the
Down
base
goes.
will be taken down, and the Blue Bulls have just shut the Dragons' dreams down.
History repeats itself. One up.
Sa 8 gigabytes, ang dami mong masyashare.
Sa 8 gigabytes. Hold on. We need to do something here. I'm not watching MSC. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know if we're going to watch TNC versus Evos. 4:20 a.m. Day 1. Yeah, we might watch that game tomorrow. We might review that game tomorrow. Now that we have tons, now that NPL ID and NPL PH is on, this is probably going to be all the content we do for the next 8 weeks. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it, guys. I'm going to try to get maybe a little bit of sleep before I have to go into work. I already got like 3 hours, maybe try to get another 2 or 3 hours. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Much love. Yeah, we're gonna call it. It's late, guys. It's 4:20 a.m. for me. I have work at 7:45, 3 hours. And I have to work a double, yo. I gotta work like 10 hours tomorrow. Sorry. Go watch it on the actual live stream. Much love. See you next time. Thank you for everyone who joined. Deuces.